Kriti Jain, Associate Director, Human Capital, Myntra Design Private Limited. Kriti, if you can see, hi, Kriti. Over to you.
Hello, everyone. A very good afternoon to all of you. My name is Priti Jain. I lead diversity and inclusion for Myntra. Very excited to be here today and share some of the work we've been doing at Myntra to create an inclusive workspace for all. Before we start getting into specific policies which we're doing for diversity, I want to give a quick introduction about who we are. We are a fashion tech organization leading in the fashion and lifestyle space, and our vision is to make the world a colorful and happier place. Right, and how we do that? We do that with the help of technology. We service customers across India and in everything we do, and the reason I'm talking about this is because our aim is consistently to bring about happiness and color in people's lives, and that also cascades to the way our people policies are designed. A quick recap or quick journey about Mintra. We've been around for 14 years now. We just completed our 14-year anniversary last month. We started in 2007 when we were just a portal which was selling personalized gift items. From then to now, we've been going strong on all counts. We service about 96% of PIN codes within India, 1 lakh plus shipments on a daily basis. We joined hands with Flipkart in 2014 and we are now part of the Walmart group. Coming to our DNI objective, so this is what our diversity and inclusion philosophy is. We believe in creating a culture where everyone can belong and where employees can bring their full selves and authentic selves to work. We believe that people should not have to come to work and have a different persona. This is how I should be perceived at work. This is the kind of person I need to be to grow to a leadership position. And this is not just for women, right? It is across the spectrum of employees we have. One of the unique things about Mintra is that we have a very diverse talent pool under the same roof. We are a fashion tech organization, and therefore, under the same umbrella, we have technologists plus business individuals to creative individuals, and all of them have very unique personality types. They operate differently and they have different needs. So, in order to be able to support all of them, is how we came up with this objective, and therefore we encourage people to be their best selves at work, and that's how we believe that people will be able to perform their best in the workplace as well. Coming from this objective is what our DNI philosophy stems from. We call our DNI charter as be yourself, right? Which is about how do you be yourself at work? How do you celebrate every individual's uniqueness and how do you make that your strength? And under that umbrella, we have different aspects that we focus on. We for She is our initiative which focuses specifically on women. And I'll talk a lot more about what are we doing from a gender inclusion standpoint, specifically for women towards the later half of the presentation. I also want to call out that we have unique infrastructural support and even policy related support for colleagues from the specially able community and for our LGBTQ plus colleagues. So we have something called Mintra Happy Boys, where there are specially able colleagues of ours who work in very different roles within our warehouses and fulfillment centers. This has helped us create a very, very positive impact in their lives and in roles where it is not usually seen possible to support this kind of a profile. We've made that happen and we are very, very proud of it. We also have Colors Collective, and I know one of the audience had a question earlier about how do you facilitate ERGs in the post-pandemic era. I'm very proud to say that our first ERG towards the LGBTQ plus inclusion was started as we were working remotely. Our employees actually came together and they said this is something that we want to do, and since then we've only been going stronger. Coming to our pillars for diversity and inclusion are threefold. We focus on how do we find the best talent, how do we attract the best diverse talent that is there in the industry, and that we do by how do we get the stories out, how do we strengthen our brand that we are a place where diverse talent thrives. We have very specific policies and guidelines around focused hiring for diverse talent, specifically for women. And we also have a very, very strong foundation from a talent acquisition standpoint, which ensures that we're able to give the right opportunities and we are able to reach the diverse talent pool that is available out there. The second thing which we consciously do is grow the talent that is already available internally. We provide development opportunities to women employees who are within the organization, and very, very customized and specific opportunities. We also develop platforms for women to learn and connect with each other. One of the things when we were doing our focus group discussions with senior leaders as well as a larger organization was that women do not tend to network as easily as men, especially during the remote working situation when opportunities to network are so limited. And also, women have a lot of responsibilities to shoulder at home as well. It was we realized that these opportunities were very limited for our women employees, and therefore we came up with many platforms for our women employees to be able to connect with each other and with the senior leadership in the organization. We also ensure that we provide the right mentorship for women to grow and thrive in their careers. And we make sure that through a variety of intervention, we are able to provide them access to internal and external role models. The last but not the least is about engage. So we focus on finding the right talent, we focus on growing them, and then once they're there in the organization, how do you consistently engage with them? And the first part of it is about supportive benefits and policies, which is actually the focus of our workshop track today. And I'll talk a lot more about how our policies are leading in at least the e-commerce industry and how we are supporting key milestones in the personal lives of our employees. We also believe that the change starts from the top, and therefore we have a very inclusive and empathetic leadership, which we have been able to build through the years, and it is in our DNA. Our leaders walk the talk, and the message percolates along the rest of the organization. We've taken a lot of steps in terms of sensitization of unconscious biases, and we make sure that everything we do in whatever form and manner, it gives out the message that diversity is important, and therefore we need to give opportunities to diverse talent to thrive and contribute. Talking about the first pillar, which is talent attraction, we have a very robust talent acquisition system in place where we focus on everything, right from sourcing till the interview process to onboarding, to make sure that the experience women candidates or even candidates from other diverse communities is very comprehensive, and it is very holistic. To that end, we have made all our job descriptions gender neutral. We ensure that there is a diverse funnel which is there available for hiring for all the roles, especially at senior levels, because that's where the challenge comes in, right? There is a perception that there are not enough senior women leader in the market. So we want to make sure that we are providing those opportunities. Every interview process has a mandatory women panelist, and therefore we try and avoid all sorts of biases which could come in. We also go to women-only colleges for engineering internships, and we make sure that all the students there have the right opportunity to apply for roles within Myntra. In addition to that, we make sure that to be able to attract the right talent, we are able to showcase the success stories. If you look at our social media platforms, they're full of success stories of how women are able to thrive and contribute to Myntra. Along with all of this, in addition to the regular processes, we've made sure that we nudge the managers, and we've inbuilt nudges throughout our processes to make sure that the unconscious biases are not factoring in any of our processes, and people are able to sidestep them. So we are able to bring in those nudges at the right points in time, be it at the time of hiring. So anytime you go and take an interview, there is a tip sheet for you to quickly look at and say, here are the things, do's, don'ts. How do I be more inclusive in my conversations? When you're onboarding a new joiner, along with a checklist as what you should do as a manager, it also talks about how do you be more inclusive. And this is not just about women, right? It is about people from various backgrounds. How do I not be enamored by somebody who has a similar background as mine? How do I not play into generational biases, right? So it encompasses everything. So we've built those checklists in to be able to support diverse talent coming into the organization. Talking about how we are supporting women to grow in the organization, I spoke about how the pandemic restricted opportunities for us as women employees to network. For that, we specially constituted speed mentoring sessions, and we've been able to run these virtually very successfully. They've got a lot of traction for us. And this has given opportunities for our women employees, not just to connect with women leaders, but also with the male leadership. So we have our chief marketing officer, who's the chief sponsor for diversity and inclusion in our organization. He has been front-ending some of these conversations, and we have seen a lot of good sentiment because of them. We also have a sponsorship program in place for our senior leaders so that they are able to grow into leadership positions, and they are able to sidestep any roadblocks which may come their way with the support of senior leadership in the organization. We also have a women leadership development program, which we called as Flying Lessons, which enables emerging leaders in the organization, and it upskills them to be able to take up leadership positions. As part of this program, we consciously try and address some of the challenges which our women spoke about, which they spoke about from a networking standpoint, from a personal branding standpoint. How do I be a good storyteller? How do I be more assertive? And there are a lot of these such aspects which get covered. Also, since this is specifically for women, it helps everyone connect, share stories, learn from each other, and draw from each other's strengths. We also provide customized L&D programs for the larger women in the organization, women based in the organization. So while there are specific interventions towards developing women leaders, we are also aware that at junior levels, the needs could be different, and there are different kinds of challenges which people face as they experience different life stages. For that, we do workshops throughout the year to be able to support our women colleagues. It could be anything from, let's say, how do I groom myself as a leader? How do I overcome my inhibitions, right? And topics like these. Like I said earlier, we also have one-on-one mentoring programs. So apart from sponsorship, we also mentor emerging leaders where they go on a 6 to 9 months journey with senior leaders in the organization, and they are able to get help in terms of their career trajectories. Coming to the engage part of it, this is our effort towards ensuring that all our women colleagues or the other members from other communities, diverse communities, have a very, very supportive environment to grow. And this extends beyond infrastructure at workplace. We make sure that everybody who joins the organization undergoes a training on unconscious biases. It's mandatory. As organizations talk about POSH and ethics trainings as mandatory, we've also made unconscious bias as a mandatory module for all our employees. And therefore, the moment they come in, they go through this and they understand why is it very important for us to inculcate inclusive behaviors in the way we operate in Myntra. We have also started something called Leading with Empathy. This is a program which is very specifically curated for our people managers. So our people managers are the ones who actually give the experience to the larger organization, right? I, as an individual, one of the lenses I look at the organization is through my manager. So we've curated this highly interactive workshops, which our people managers go through, and it involves a lot of conversation. It leads them to introspect, and it leads them to understand what are the different gender biases which come into play. It leads them to come up with solutions and inculcate those in their teams as well. So very, very powerful tools. And by including all people managers in this conversation and not just the leader, we are able to strike these conversations in the larger employee base. Like I said, we've also had nudges at every step in the employee life cycle. I spoke about interviewing biases, and I also spoke about biases at the time of joining, but we also have nudges built in. For example, at the time of performance appraisals, there could be a lot of biases would creep in when a manager is evaluating their employee's performance. So how do you sidestep that? When an employee goes on a parental journey, be it a woman embarking on a maternity journey or a man embarking on a paternity journey, there are a lot of biases which come into play. And we have seen this often in a lot of organizations. We've seen this with our friends and colleagues. So we want to make sure that anytime this happens with one of our colleagues, they do not face any biases. We have a very holistic corner which we've hosted on our learning management system, which we've called Be Yourself, which has a lot of resources for people to get supported. It is not just about how do I, as a woman, grow, or it is not about how do I, as an LGBTQIA plus community member, feel comfortable in the organization, but it also has a lot of content for our allies, which we periodically reinforce through different campaigns in the organization. We've also started a dedicated channel where women can open up, they can raise their concerns. This is a direct line of communication with our CEO as well as our DNI sponsor, which is our Chief Marketing Officer. So they have a direct line to any of the senior women leaders or the CEO and the CMO, and they can talk about anything which is bothering them. In fact, our leaders continue to do focus group discussions with women across levels at a periodic basis to get a pulse, and that creates a very, very safe atmosphere from a psychological safety standpoint. Uh, Talking about inclusive policies, and that's where the crux of this workshop today is focused on. I want to talk about how we as an organization have been able to go above and beyond. And we've not just done this as the statutory norms have come in, right? Even though we are not an organization which has years of legacy behind it, even before there was a statutory compliance of 6 months of maternity leave, 2 years before that, we had institutionalized that within our Myntra ecosystem. I want to talk about some specific programs. Motherhood and Beyond is one of our flagship programs, which we have institutionalized for women who are embarking on a motherhood journey. I also want to talk about our leading parental leave benefits, because we believe that childcare is not just a woman's responsibility. And I really want to draw from what Anjali had said earlier. In order to make sure that we are empowering women, it is not just enough to focus on women. We need to strengthen the ecosystem around women, right? And therefore we make sure that we have leading benefits for fathers as well. And how do we educate them so that they are able to support the women not just in their teams but also in their lives? Infrastructural support, right from reserve parkings to lactation rooms to creche, all of that we've been able to provide within our office premises. Flexi work arrangements is not new to us, and I'll talk about that a little bit more in detail. We also provide sabbatical leave, which is quite generous, and we feel that we are able to give a lot of support to our diverse talent pool with the help of these policies. Coming to Motherhood and Beyond, Motherhood and Beyond is a program which I am personally proud about. I've been able to launch this with the help of some of our colleagues within Mintra, and this supports women right from the time they're planning for family until they're back to work. And we handhold them through these different stages. This entire program has been specifically curated for our uh, new and returning mothers at Mintra, and it has everything right from emotional counseling to the time you come back, you go on a maternity leave and you come back and you're settling into work, any kind of challenges you're facing, it encompasses everything. While there are a lot of things which are there as part of this program, which I'm sure a lot of the organizations here do as well, I specifically want to call out the elements of manager coaching. Through this program, we've been able to ensure that every woman who's going on a maternity leave, we've been able to reach out to their managers on a one-on-one basis and coach them on what are the right do's and don'ts which are needed as to be able to support that woman in her journey. We coach these managers regularly. We ensure that the managers stay connected, and we also connect with the women colleagues through their entire journey to be able to see if they are getting the required support or not. When they come back, we make sure that they are set up for success. There are a lot of guidelines which we have placed in order to be able to make sure that the transition is smooth. And we also conduct a lot of workshops periodically for new mothers to be able to settle down. They battle a lot of challenges. It could be anything from how do I manage my child as well as my work, or it could be something around just finding the right ecosystem to support your child. So we do all of that where women come together, they share their experiences and learn from each other. I also want to call out some very key elements of our maternity policy where we also extend it to same-sex couples. So the primary caregiver is eligible for maternity leave. We also give out leave in terms of any complications which arise from a pregnancy, and we are very, very supportive in such stances. We also give women the option of flexible ramp up to work. So once you are coming back from your maternity leave, you can either have a 6 months of loss of pay, and you can go on an extended break, and or otherwise, if you wish to start working but you feel you're not ready to come back to work full-fledged, you can have a conversation with your manager and come back with reduced hours. So we completely support that as well. Given that our maternity policy is quite generous and there are different leave types which you can avail during this entire journey, what also happens is a lot of women are away for a significant period of time, and it varies from one woman to the other. Therefore, we have very, very clear guidelines in place during our performance and compensation appraisal so that these women do not get impacted. They do not feel that because of the career breaks they took, their career or their ratings have been compromised in any form and manner. As I was saying earlier, we believe that it is important to provide the right support to the fathers as well, because we know that a childcare is not just a woman's responsibility, and for that we have a very leading paternity leave policy, which is up to 6 weeks. It also extends. It also extends to the fact that you can work from home for one day a week, 3 months after completing your paternity leave, so that you're able to provide the right support to the mother of your child. We also provide emotional counseling for fathers so that they're able to cope up with the new changes. And there are also a lot of workshops we conduct specifically for fathers, so they are able to cope up with these changes in their lives. There are elements around how do I financially plan, as there is a new member who's joined my family, and so on and so forth. All right. Some of the other features that I want to call out is all our benefits extend to adoption and surrogacy as well. One of our very salient features is also unlimited wellness leave that we offer to all of our employees. So we understand that it's not just about you need to take a day off because you're sick, but it could just be that there is just so much of stress in the life, and mental wellness is something which we've all realized is very, very important during these pandemic times. There are so many things that employees have to shoulder both at work as well as at home, and therefore we provide this unlimited wellness leaves which people can avail if they need to. In addition to this, we also provide 2 weeks family care leave, which you can use if you want to take care of your child, or if you just need to spend time with child. And this expands to fathers as well as mothers. Coming to some of the other benefits which we believe is not just helping women at workplace, but the larger diverse talent, is about sabbatical leave and flexible working. Flexi working is not new to us. We've had these policies even before the pandemic, where people could choose to work part-time or they could work from anywhere, provided they are able to align with their managers, and also flexible working hours. Flexible working hours for our women colleagues has given them a lot of flexibility to be able to balance their childcare and work responsibilities. Even on sabbatical, a sabbatical could be for any reason. You could take it to avail higher education, you could take it to focus on yourself, you could take it to pursue your entrepreneurial idea, and we are fully supportive of that. We also have a mechanism in place where we are able to support the business proposal if it is deemed viable after a successful pilot. With all of this, we aim to create a very, very inclusive sort of an environment for our colleagues within Myntra. Lastly, I want to talk about industry leading medical insurance policy, which we've been able to introduce last year, where we provide coverage for live-in as well as same-sex partners. And we cover disabled children and siblings without any upper age limit. We also cover child vaccinations for men and women under this, and a lot more benefits that come through this, right? Just adding on to all of this, while I've focused on policies and processes as part of this presentation, as an organization, we are taking a lot of steps even to expand this thought process within our ecosystem. So Myntra is working with a lot of international brands as well as national brands, and we have our own private labels as well. We have about 25 private labels of our own. And I'm not sure if you've all shopped on Myntra, but we have a brand called Tavi, where we support a lot of women colleagues and artisans across the country. And this is our conscious steps towards providing employment to people outside of who work within the Myntra boundaries. So these are some of the things which we feel will go a long way in contributing to the larger ecosystem as we strengthen workplace for women, and we create an inclusive workplace for all.
Great. So I think, Kriti, it was a very interactive session for us. I'm sure the audience had a lot to be learning and understanding from a Myntra point of view. Great. Thank you so much. Thanks for your time. We request you if you could stay back and hear other speakers as well.
Absolutely.
Thank you. Thank you so much.